Hello and welcome back to the podcast. The last episode that I just batch recorded was about inspired content, and something else that I wanted to share with you is another insightful occurrence that has happened and I've journaled about in the last 2 days. So, something that has been going on is NLP sessions with clients. I've been having these NLP sessions for free with clients. I'm going to be running that until the end of June. And so through these NLP sessions, my clients have been going through these transformations. I'm going to share that with you in another episode, but I have also been going through my own transformations. I have had the topic of religion come up 2 weeks ago as something that triggered a just absolute emotional domino effect response in me regarding my own self-identity and my own self-transformation. In this past week, I had something to do with my business in burnout lead to this, again, huge emotional just wave, burst, explosion, I guess you could say. And so something that I want to really talk about in today's episode is the appearance of what's changing. And what really brought this on was that I had to go to the ENT a while ago. I think I released an episode. It's called The Ear, the Nose, and the Throat. I had to go to the ENT a while ago. And they were running these blood tests. They were running these labs. And I was very concerned because my blood test came back with this really weird antibody reading, and my immune system levels weren't actually 100% where they should be. And so naturally I got very concerned. And so through that, I also was terrified of what was going to come up next. And the ENT actually said that what the next step to do was to go see an immunologist. And I mean, okay, yeah, sure, you got it. I'm going to go see an immunologist because I want this to get solved. So I went to the immunologists, and to me, I was on the doomsday train. Forget it. There was no way I was getting off. I was like, I have MS. There's no way that I have anything other than that. That's what it is. The worst is coming. Brace yourselves. Went to the immunologist. Turns out that the blood test that I had run, he found that my antibody levels were at 13%. He said they should be at 70. That is a very big difference. And when I asked him, well, what do I have to do to get my antibody levels back up? He said, you just need to get a booster shot. That's it? Yeah, that's it. We're going to take some blood in about 5 or 6 weeks and you're good to go. Okay, doc. And what's been happening is that I haven't been having nearly as bad inflammation in my nose. I haven't had an infection in 6 weeks, which is a long time for me. It's been 6 weeks since I've had an ear infection or strep throat or some kind of infection at all. And it was because I had very low levels of the pneumococcal antibodies. So anything that had to do with ear infections, eye infections, strep throat, sinus infections, I had very low antibodies against those particular bacteria, and that's why I kept getting sinus infections. Pretty easy, right? Well, they gave me the shot. I haven't had anything in about 6 weeks. I have to go in for blood work soon. And this led me to this past week when I had my last NLP session. It led me to really think on, well, what happens internally when we do NLP? Because I also had a business support call with one of my mentors, and she was talking about how really what it comes down to is that these people that I'm fostering these sessions for, they are expressing to me that they're going through a transformation. They are. And I'm going to share that with you in another episode. I know I already said that. But they're going through a transformation, and I'm struggling with the fact that I'm giving that to them. I'm struggling with believing that. And I brought up the quote of seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. And I brought that quote up for a purpose, obviously. But my mentor had said to me, you have to do the believing in yourself that they're going through this. Would they make that up? Like, would this particular person make this up? And I said, no. Like, these transformations, what they're sharing with me is very specific. They can't make that up. It's not like they're talking to each other. They don't even know each other. So all of these things are very personal and individualized to them. And she said, so then what is it that you don't believe you? And I really had to sit with that for a second because I didn't really know. I think what I said to her was, I think it has to do with the fact that I can't actually see a result. Like, I can't feel that anything's changed. I don't see that anything's changed. I don't know that anything's changed. And she had something to say back to me. I don't remember right now what it was because it's 9:47 at night and it's been a while since that actual day. So what I will share with you is I had this revelation last night when I was journaling, and it went a little something like this. My allergist, my immunologist, cannot see that I'm having a transformation. He can take my blood and he can look at the serum levels to see if my antibodies are changing and going up. But he cannot physically see a transformation. And so I thought of myself in the immunologist's position. I cannot physically see my clients go through these transformations, but I can ask them questions about what's going on in their life, what their day-to-day looks like now comparatively to what it was prior, or even what they are doing, what they're releasing, how they're competing, how they're behaving, and how it's different than it would have been prior to our NLP sessions. And I have one client, I'm going to actually share their story here because why not? I have one client that she told me she went to go get a smoothie this past week. We've only been doing NLP for 3 weeks together, okay? She went to go get a smoothie this past week, and the woman gave her a chocolate smoothie. She ordered a mint smoothie, not a mint chocolate smoothie. And for the last 16 weeks, when she gets this smoothie, it's been green. And she looked at the smoothie that the woman handed to her, the chocolate mint smoothie. And she said, this is not the smoothie that I ordered. And the woman behind the counter asked, do you want me to make you a new one? And my client said yes. I have known my client for quite a while now. She's very soft-spoken. She's very nice. She's very polite. Prior to working together, she probably would have never said, make me a new one. Especially because she told me that there were 3 people waiting in line behind her. But she told this woman, yes, I want a mint green smoothie. That's an identity level change. She's shifting to become the person who stands up for what she wants, who's confident in herself, and asks for what she wants. She fights for what she wants. And she never would have done that had we not started working on some of these beliefs that she has. We're moving them out of the way so that she can become that more embodied version of herself. And it is so incredible to hear that. And that to me is like when my immunologist is going to look at my blood lab work in the next couple weeks and see my antibody levels go up. Just because I cannot see it, just because you cannot see it, doesn't mean that it's not working underneath the surface. Doctors do it all of the time. We heal and we can't always see our healing. It's okay. We don't need to have a broken bone sticking through our skin, put it in a cast, watch it get better, and the bone is, wow, back to normal under our skin in 6 months, however long that takes. But you know what I mean. It doesn't need to be such a drastic visual change. It can very easily be something going on internally, and we follow up with inciting questions or inciting tests. And that was hard for me until I realized that other people have to do this for their job all of the time. Because it required a belief in myself. And the thing is, I know that I'm doing what I can do to help these people. And just because I can't see it physically doesn't mean it's not happening. Because it is. That story is so specific and is so different than who she was 4 months ago that I know that this work is working. So I wanted to share that because, again, inspired content is something that I'm walking through right now and something that is like actually happening. The experiences, the lessons, the mistakes, the learnings. It's inspired. It's original. I don't know that I like the word original, obviously, but it's not your average story. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to also encourage you to sign up for an NLP session. These sessions are going to be free until the end of June. So in exchange for a little bit of market research, I will be providing an NLP session. And you will go through a very similar transformation to what my client went through very, very, very quickly. 3 weeks. That's it. To get there, identity level changes. So, thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.